You're hustling, budgeting, even investing a little. But somehow your bank balance still looks like it's on life support. Why? Because there's a wealth killer lurking in your daily routine that no one talks about. And it's not student loans, avocado toast, or even taxes. It's something more invisible, more habitual, and far more dangerous. Let's pull the curtain back. You're paying rent on your lifestyle. Every month, money leaves your account like clockwork. Netflix, Spotify, DoorDash Premium, the gym you haven't seen in months, and that cloud storage you can't remember signing up for. Your bank account isn't getting robbed. It's bleeding out $9.99 at a time. And while those tiny charges look harmless, they're stacking like bricks on your debt. The trap of emotional spending. Retail therapy is not healthcare. You've had a bad day, so you treat yourself. Now your cart looks like a cry for help, and your wallet is whispering, why? If your coping mechanism comes with shipping fees, you might be medicating your stress with compound interest. And speaking of stress, nothing ages you or your portfolio faster than lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep, you got a raise, and so did your expenses. You moved up at work, but instead of growing your investments, you grew your shoe collection. Suddenly, the ramen budget turned into steak nights and Uber Lux. The only thing worse than being broke is being broke with a better view. And while you're flexing for Instagram, the real financial threat is flexing right back. Interest payments, interest addiction, borrowing money to feel rich, car loan, credit card, BNPL for a $300 hoodie. Debt is now disguised as convenience, and convenience costs more than you think. If you're paying interest on dinner you already digested, you're not financing life, you're financing delusion. But it's not just about where your money's going, it's also about what it's not doing. Idle cash syndrome. Saving is not the same as growing. That feeling of security from having $10,000 in savings? Cool. But inflation is eating it alive like termites in your floorboards. If your money's chilling in a 0.01% interest account, it's basically retired before you are. Scarcity mindset. You're budgeting for survival, not growth. You fear spending, so you hoard cash and avoid investing. But playing defense 24/7 won't win the game. You're not being careful, you're being financially paralyzed. And that paralysis? It's fueled by the biggest lie we've all been sold. The middle class illusion, the house, the car, the chains. They told you to go to school, get a job, buy a house, and live happily ever after. What they didn't mention? Mortgage debt, property taxes, and 30 years of shackles. Owning a home isn't financial freedom. It's just a more expensive form of being stuck. Comparison culture. You're competing in a race. No one wins. Scrolling TikTok, you see 22-year-olds in Lambos and crypto bros buying penthouses. So you stretch, swipe, and overspend to keep up. Financial FOMO is the fastest route to broke. And when you're busy chasing someone else's lifestyle, you forget to build your own. Unplanned living, you don't budget because it's too much work. Most people treat their finances like a horror movie. They hear noises, get scared, and hide instead of investigating. If you don't track your money will track you. Straight into overdraft fees. The real killer, financial apathy. That's it. Not ignorance, not poverty, apathy. You know better, you just don't do better. You tell yourself you'll deal with it next month. And guess what? You've been saying that for 27 next months now. If you treated your health the way you treat your money, you'd be in the ICU right now. The cure, money as a system, not a reaction. Your bank account shouldn't just reflect your job, it should reflect your system. Set automatic transfers, budget like it's your job, invest like your future depends on it, because it does. Adulting isn't about paying bills, it's about building freedom. Self-sabotage disguised as self-care is the modern financial tragedy. But once you've stopped lighting money on fire in the name of deserved luxury, the next trap is where your goals go to die quietly, in your calendar. Death by distraction. Busyness is not productivity. Being busy feels good. It feels important. But if your calendar is full of motion with no real progress, you're basically on a treadmill wearing a suit. Everyone claps, but you're still in the same place. Wealth doesn't come from motion. It comes from intentional action. So if you're done pretending your color-coded planner equals success, it's time to look at what you're feeding your brain. Because the wrong input guarantees the wrong output. Mental junk food, consuming more than you create. Your mind is your greatest asset. But most people feed it like it's a garbage disposal. Endless scrolls, clickbait, they're not harmless. They rewire your thinking, shorten your attention span, and normalize mediocrity. You are what you eat. And your brain's been dining on fast food headlines and reheated opinions. And if you're still wondering why the bank balance isn't matching the effort, there's one more silent killer you might be ignoring. Toxic proximity. Broke energy is contagious. You can outwork a lot of things, but you can't outgrow a mindset that's constantly being pulled back down. If everyone around you treats wealth like a scam, success like luck, and ambition like arrogance, guess what happens to your standards? You can't build a billionaire brain in a $5 mentality neighborhood. The broke life is a choice now that you know better. Most people don't lose wealth in a dramatic crash. They bleed it out in tiny, silent paper cuts, subscriptions they forgot about, impulsive dopamine buy, treat yourself moments that become weekly ritual, and a mindset stuck in survival mode. But the real killer? It's not the coffee or even the car. It's the compounding cost of not knowing where your money's going, not knowing your beliefs about wealth are outdated, not knowing your environment is quietly dragging you back into financial mediocrity. You don't need more hustle. You need fewer leaks. You don't need 20 side hustles. You need one powerful strategy. And you definitely don't need another broke best friend telling you money isn't everything while overdrafting their checking account. Wealth is built quietly, patiently, intentionally. And it dies when you're distracted, disorganized, and drowning in broke energy. So here's your wake-up call. Audit your time. Audit your mind. Audit your circle. Because wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about alignment. And now you've got the clarity to stop surviving and start stacking. You're not poor because life's unfair. You're poor because you outsourced your financial future to a wish and a YouTube algorithm. Every latte, every impulse buy, every ignored budget plan, that's not harmless. It's sabotage. You don't need to become a billionaire. You just need to stop acting like you have billionaire problems when you don't even have an emergency fund. The real wealth killer isn't debt, overspending, or bad luck. It's being passive about all three. Take control, wake up, and stop bleeding money from 1,000 tiny wounds. CTA. Watching this won't save your wallet, but applying it might. Stickman used to be broke. Now he automates his savings, invests weekly, and hasn't paid full price for anything since 2017. Be like Stickman. Like if this called you out. Subscribe if you're done making your bank account the butt of the joke. And comment the wealth killer you're finally cutting off. Stickman out.